Alright guys, a little bit of a different video and a little bit more serious. We'll be uploading this to both the Mondo Squallido channel and the Clueless Drinker channel because I do think with situations and themes like this, as a content creator, you kind of do have a responsibility to discuss things like this. Because if you've got people watching, you've got people in different situations, and it could be a little bit helpful. Plus, it's a little bit therapeutic when I do stuff like this. Um, but yeah, so this is actually take two because I was on a nice roll. I was getting, all my points out, and then I ran out of space on my phone. So I thought this is serious enough to do again. And I just want to preface this video by saying that I'm in a good place now. As a person, I am much better than I was. I've got a roof over my head. I've got an income coming in on a weekly basis. I've got clothes on my back, food and beer in my belly, and people around me who I would not change for the world. So I don't want this video to come across as one of those videos because I'm willing to put stuff online, but even I have my own limits. But yeah, and by the way, there might be some slightly distasteful, off-the-cuff, self-gratifying, far from it, self-deprecating humour in this video because if you've not got humour, you've got jack shit. If you can't laugh at a situation, then you're just paddling up shit creek without a paddle. And yeah, this is, a video that I just feel the need to make. It just feels right to do it now. And there will people who will laugh. If you want to do that, completely fine. I would probably do the same, to be honest. I will not be replaying this video back to make sure, and to make sure what's said, because, yeah, I don't think you should really prepare for this sort of stuff. But, yeah, and most importantly, if this potentially helps anyone, or can help people relate and get the discussion going, then, that's much more valuable than pride in this instance. Not that I'm going to be going, too deep anyway. That's what she said. But yeah, I'll stop it now. I'll actually get serious. So in a couple of months' time, it will be a year of being single and being back in England. But most importantly, it'll be a year since the relationship with the most special person in my life, even now, ended. And the reason why? Me, fundamentally. And although the 7 best years of my life, I think as a person, they could have been the worst 7 years of my life. Because looking back and making some very important realizations, I'm a decent person. I'm nice, I'm courteous, I'm polite. I'll treat you with respect if you treat me with respect. But at the same time, I was also a very toxic person. And a very selfish person. And although I was never, verbally or emotionally or anything like that, or physically abusive, I do sometimes think that I was almost worse than that. Because, at least with an abusive spouse, it's clear that that person is an abusive spouse. And the partner knows where they stand. But, yeah, I look back at the person I was, and I really do not like that person. Sure, I was, in a relationship with the most beautiful woman in the world. I was living in Germany, you know, I was living the life, but I was not a good person at all. Not that I was like a completely awful person, of course. I've got to give myself some credit. But yeah, I'm the sort of person who I take the piss out of now. I'm very toxic, and narcissistic as well. And because of that, and because of my ways, and because of what I did and what I didn't do, I not only destroyed the relationship with the woman who should have been my wife and the mother to my children. And of course, I'm not going to name names because I think most of you guys know her anyway. And she may be watching, so I do not want to run her name through the mud because she doesn't deserve it. I've done enough of that in the past, 6 months or so. I think I've done more damage after the relationship ended, and to the point where we only communicate every now and then via WhatsApp. It got to the point where the stuff I was posting online and my whole attitude, it got to the point where, she blocked me on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. All because I was a complete fucking prick, to put it very bluntly. And any hope that I had, and there's still, and I can't apologise for this, but there's still part of me that is hoping that somewhere down the line we will get back together and live the life that we should have been living. But, she's moved on. She met someone else who can hopefully treat her a lot better than I can. So why should I wish my own desires upon someone else who has clearly been through a hell of a lot? I put so much emotional and financial strain on her that there was literally nothing else she could do. So I can't even be angry. It wasn't, and to be honest, it could have been a hell of a lot uglier than it is. But because she's such an amazing person, see, this is the thing, this is the main moral of the story is, just don't be a piece of shit. Do you know what I mean? She was not only the love of my life, but she was also the first woman that I actually had a relationship with. So I didn't have the luxury of, having my adolescence, my teenage years with heartbreak, preparing myself. I was very, very immature. I still am, even now, to be honest. There's a lot of things that I would like to still change about myself. But I am sure as shit a much better person now than I used to be. And, I do have people around me. I've got a house, home over my head. Got clothes on my back, beer and food in my belly, money coming in. But if I'd have just had this basic income job when I was in Germany and actually showed her much more compassion and love at every opportunity that I should have, my life would have been in a completely different direction. And, it never got to the point where I was like, I need to end it. It never even crossed my mind. Just in the back of my head, when I first had the realisation that this is it. This is the relationship over. This is the world that you know and love and everything you do know is gone. You know, because I did have some very lonely weeks in Germany towards the end, where some people might have, you know, jumped off a bridge, done something drastic, irreversible. But I just couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to other people. We're hearing so many people now taking their own lives. We've got problems here in the UK with young people taking their own life. You know, you're leaving people behind when you do that. You know, you're destroying, you might not realise it, building up to it, but you're going to be destroying so many lives. You know, and if I did, I'd miss out on so much stuff. So many life experiences. Travelling, family, good times with friends. You know, reviewing beers, watching films. You know, so I don't want people to think that, I wasn't at that point. As dark as it was getting, I knew that that wasn't the option. And I'm just so genuinely thankful, specifically to the likes of Craig from Kent Beer Reviews and the other beer tube guys who I've come to know, because, you know, that couple of weeks when my ex had gone back to a family home to mull things over, and then I discovered over Twitter that she'd met someone else and was moving in with them. You know, somewhere else in Germany, where we had, you know, discussed that that's where our next step would be. You know, don't get me wrong, I was angry at that time. I think it's natural. And that was probably the darkest and loneliest that I've ever been. For that 2 weeks that she was away, I'm just so thankful for, of course, my family, because I did talk to them while I was in that situation, but Craig from Cadbury's, I don't think he realises just how thankful I am, because, you know, we would talk for hours, just me and him. And then, of course, I'd be doing the live hangouts with the other beer tube guys. And that was really so profound. Do you know what I mean? And those are people who I want in my life right until the end. Do you know what I mean? Because, again, thanks to my own ways, I burnt a lot of bridges when I moved to Germany. I completely lost connection with, you know, my closest friends from high school and primary school, to the point now where we've not talked since I've come back to the UK, and I don't think they will be fixed. So to have people like that again in my life, and again aside from family, because, you know, if you've got people in your corner, I despair sometimes at what I might be doing. And yeah, I know most people would have gotten over this within a few months and met someone else and gone with their life. But my main thing that I still do now, and what did actually contribute to the downfall, was I internalised too much. I keep things to myself. I emotionally cut myself off from people. And I think that is probably the worst thing anybody could do, no matter how big or small, how important or trivial their situation is. even if it's just anonymously writing a blog post or putting a video online or actually talking to someone face to face, get it out there. You know, don't worry about your image or the way people will see you. But if you internalise and not have anybody to unleash it on, then you've got like a life of despair. So I think that's what my main message is. Well, the first message is, if you're in a relationship with someone special, I don't care if they have pissed you off royally. I don't care if you've had the biggest argument ever, if you're not talking to them. Fucking put that petty shit aside and just show them appreciation in any way you can. There was an absolutely wonderful image on Facebook that I shared of a man in a subway in New York, I think it was, with a takeout pizza and flowers. And the caption was, it was probably all staged and fake, but it had a really profound, message. Where he was getting laughed at by people around him because, oh, that's all you're going to do for the one you love. Well, what did he get? He got flowers and a pizza that they can both enjoy and, share when he gets back and cuddle up and just, whether it's buying, your better half a pizza and flowers or just giving them a cuddle, when you can see that they're upset. Just don't do what I did and get too comfortable with not having to show compassion. And I'm sure people will relate to this story and have probably been in a much uglier situation than I have, because it doesn't matter what you're going through. Just think what it'd be like if the person you love wasn't there the next day. Having someone by your side literally makes you feel invincible. And I'd hate to see other people making mistakes like this, because it's fucking awful. Do you know what I mean? It's genuinely, sorry to laugh, but it's fucking awful to go through something like this. And, especially if you've got children involved and things like that, every day, and she may be watching, and again, I can't apologise for this, but every day something makes me think about her. And I legitimately feel sorry for the potential next woman to come into my life, because I'll probably still be hung up on my ex. Doing what you should never do, thinking of the what ifs and, oh, imagine what our situation would be like now. Imagine if we did have kids and we did marry. And that's one thing that I need to learn, is how to stop dwelling on the past. But one thing I have learned is to be a better person. And it doesn't take much. And yeah, here I am, approaching 1 year on, in a good situation, but feeling even worse because of it, because it wouldn't have taken much for me to still be in the relationship with the woman who I still, for better or for worse, love and adore. So yeah, that's it really. I'm sure there are points that I missed out in recording this video. But if anything that I've said resonates with people or can help people. Doesn't matter if you're in a worse situation or a better situation than I am. Don't compare circumstance and situations, because it doesn't do anyone any good. And yeah, I just thought I'd address this. And yeah, thank you for sitting through this. Whether you have good intentions or not, I just felt I needed to vocalise this in some way. Because it fucking sucks. But it doesn't have to. So, don't fucking allow it to. It's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. It does not take much. And I will probably have regrets till the day I die. But yeah, anyway, I've got a beer delivery coming today. try to change the subject. But no, in all seriousness, if you have anything you need to get off your chest with someone, tell them. Communicate. Make yourself emotionally available. And if you're internalising something, doesn't matter which way you do it, get it out there. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. You guys are amazing. And the next video you'll see from me should hopefully be a bit more of a merrier one. So, thanks guys, and you all take care.